Welcome to another episode of Manhood Academy podcasting. We promised we would be in Skype today, but we lied through our teeth. We are actually in Google Plus because we asked the students beforehand what they would prefer, and the students said that they would like to use Google Plus instead of Skype for several reasons. One of the big reasons is that we can all see each other, so it's like we're in a real classroom setting. Skype has some connectivity issues, such as the voices cutting in and out sometimes. Google seems to be better as far as connection issues go because they're Google. So I'm not sure if that's affecting everybody, but let's go around. Let's start with Shy Willie. What's your preference as far as what you want to connect to and why? Because the other students are going to hear this discussion, so we're going to kind of try and see if there's any pluses or any benefits to having a Skype chat as far as ease of connectivity. Because I used to think it would just be, it's simple. We just get on Skype and we connect up, but it seems now I found a way of, instead of inviting everybody, I could just post a link to the classroom and people can just connect through the link, and it's a lot easier than doing an invite, which seems to be inconsistent right now. What's your feeling, Shy Willie?
Yeah, I like Google Plus better because I do get to see mostly everyone's faces, and it's more personal, I guess.
And you get to be shy on camera.
Yeah, that too.
Speak up, Shy Willie.
Yeah, that too.
Sweet. All right, Zyg, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely for Google Plus too. I don't see any benefit to Skype. The audio quality doesn't seem to be better. So
yeah, I think audio quality.
The advantage of video is hard to compete with.
Yeah, I think the video, but also what you mentioned about the audio, because in the podcast, all we're recording is the audio of you guys, and it's fairly clear compared to Skype, because Skype, sometimes you guys have heard in the previous podcast, you get the in and out echo, like it'll be talking clearly, and then all of a sudden it'll echo like this, and then come back in. And it does that a couple times. Every now and then I notice. So I haven't,
more consistent here.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed that with Google Plus. Jar, what you feeling, man?
So originally, the only reason why I thought Skype had some advantage is because it was so easy to connect in or call people.
Right.
And that link just solves the problem. So now, I don't think there's one field that Skype beats Google Plus, so I'm all Google Plus too.
Yeah, I think the link is really helpful as far as invite. Now I don't have to worry about clicking invite and dragging the class circles over and all that crap. I can just post the link. Terrell, what you feeling?
I like the fact that we can put a face to the name.
Like the face of the name. Okay, so you're for it, or what about Skype? Do you see any advantages with Skype?
Not really. Well, this is my first call on Google Plus, aside from that little test call we did when I signed up.
Right.
But I really can't compare. But Skype, I don't see any advantages.
Okay. Franchise and mustache guy, paperclip. What do you say?
I like Skype because my internet connection doesn't have to be really good to be on Skype. But on the other hand, I like Google Plus because I get visual and I get good visual and good audio.
Okay,
so I get a little bit of both worlds.
Okay, so one of the advantages then for students with slower connections might be Skype.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because where I'm currently living, the internet connection sucks. It's terrible. I'm always, when I try to watch videos on YouTube, it takes 10 minutes just to watch a 4-minute video.
Right. Here's the issue, also with, I think maybe Big L and Tim Willie have bad connections, so even on Skype, though, where it might benefit them, it's still their voice kind of echoes or goes in and out, or we get lag with them even on Skype. So I don't know how, being on Google Plus or being on Skype would solve that, that internet, if you have a poor internet connection or you have, a really slow internet connection. I don't think it's going to solve it just by being on Skype.
Yeah. I mean, so far from my experience, I can be on Skype and I can be on Skype in a shitty area where the internet sucks and be able to talk to you guys. Well, if I'm on Google Plus, I can't do that in shitty areas where there's not much there's not a good internet connection.
Right. Okay, Blue, what you feeling? Actually, Franchise, hold on. Franchise, what do you think?
I haven't really used Skype for any of the podcasting. I've used it for just chatting with my dad overseas. It's not too bad. My first impression of Google Plus is pretty impressive. I like the way it's laid out. It looks aesthetically pleasing. I can see everyone on the right side, the main character or the main focus is in the middle, and we can do the chat pad and sketch pad on the left. So there's a lot of options that we can utilize on Google Plus.
Yeah, I like the fact that I could see little micro movements from people. I could see Terrell twiddling his thumbs. I could see DVP moving back and forth. I could see Zyger just kind of nodding. I could see all these little mini expressions on people's faces. So it's very much in your face.
Stimulating. I have to say that Blue looks like he has this huge messy afro right now. Huge ass afro. That's why I was laughing so hard. me laughing.
Jar, stop laughing. You're making me laugh.
I apologize.
It was.
No, that's what he wrote in chat. I don't know why he's writing that in chat. You should say that in camera. It's distracting when you're typing in there.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Oh,
Blue,
okay.
because I get a blinking message at the bottom of my screen. Blue, what's up?
I prefer Google Plus. It's much more interactive. I can see what page you're on, so we don't have to say, "Hey, what page are you on?" I can see exactly in front of my screen.
Yeah, I think it's a lot, makes it a lot easier to follow, which is one of the
Right.
concerns, when we're on Skype, getting people to be on the same page, and even finding a post in the middle, it's almost like impossible to do that really quickly. So that's
And,
another advantage.
And not only can you critique our expression, you can critique our faces, our expressive faces. So you told me
Yes,
the
your
first time
body
that I have a
language.
poker face, and
Your
I didn't
body
know that,
language.
so
Yeah,
I do.
I can tell you have a poker face now. Exactly. Also, if you guys have lights, it would be better if you turn them on. Like Jar, it looks like he's in a cave, and Blue, your room's pretty dark, so if you guys can get lights, that would also help. DBP, what's up?
I like Google Plus much better than Skype because I like the way how you can just, everybody's webcams, they're just one on top of the other. You can just look to the right and see everybody. It's much more personable. And like many people have said, you can critique our, I guess, in-person expression.
Right, physical body language and
Yes.
facial expression. Oh, I can see
Yeah.
Jar now. Sweet.
Yeah, and also your screen is much easier to follow. Like, you don't have to wait like 5 minutes for everything. Oh, wait, which
He's building something over there. Sounds like Blue's building lights right now. They're falling on Zyger. Zyger's like trying to hold up his hand so he can catch the lights.
you don't have to wait for like 20 people to just. You don't have to wait for like people to like. Oh, it's 2 posts from the bottom. No, wait, it's 2 posts from the top. It just gets rid of a lot of confusion when it comes to following along.
Yeah, I think that's one of the real important advantages is getting rid of the confusion of where we're at when we're talking about one of the topics. One of our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm 8. Okay, I was counting 8 participants. I forget to count myself. One of the lone dissenters, if you notice, was Chris on there, and I think he might be a tech guy, but he's looking at other options for us as far as the classroom goes, something to compete with Google Plus and Skype. And we already noted the objections to him and why we're using Google Plus right now, and as far as using Skype, what some of the he prefers to use Skype, but I think he's one of the guys who isn't interested because his view is that Google Plus is like Facebook, and it is in a sense. It's trying to be like a social media type thing. So he's worried about data sensitivity and privacy and whatnot. My argument to him is that this is like it only becomes a data.
Gmail. You don't have to put all your life on it.
Yeah, I think the issue is you're the one in charge of volunteering all the information that you put on Google Plus. So let's say you only use it to connect to the classroom. Doesn't that just pretty much mean that you're not using it as a social network, so they can't really mine any data from you if they were going to mine data from you like they do on Facebook?
I agree.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on
If
that?
he really wanted to, he could just make a fake account under, I don't know, some...
Yeah, that's what I told them. Just
Yeah,
use a fake email, fake name. You can use everything can be totally fake, and it's just to connect to the classroom. So
Yeah.
I think that was his real concern was
way
the...
too much effort for something so minor. He's like trying to find a new thing for us just because he doesn't want to share an email.
Well, and that's assuming that the people, whoever owns Skype, I think it's Microsoft now, they're keeping tabs on you. They're looking at all your friends. And
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's kind of a massive network thing where you're doing something like this.
I think if you read around in tech reports, you'll find it like Google, if the government, what am I saying? Google has built-in, and a lot of companies, I should say, have built-in backdoors into their software. So if the government needs to subpoena something or they're like doing a criminal investigation, they can look into your email account. There's like a backdoor for that. So my advice would always be, Tora, you lose your lights?
what happened?
You're going to the witness protection program?
What was that?
It looks like your screen's all dark all of a sudden. I can see you, but it looks like you're in the dark.
I can always see your glasses.
It's like a boogeyman.
I can see your
It's
glasses
like you
shining.
suddenly became black.
Wow, I think that's your teeth.
God damn it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Go on.
No, it's coming back. It's back. It's back.
You have really nice teeth, Torero.
Name?
Must have been your connection. It just went. We could see the shimmer, the highlights of your glasses, your teeth shining.
No, I can see him now. Like,
Yeah, he looks fine. He looked like a superhero about 2 seconds ago.
Batman.
So I think the real message is, whatever you're on, you got to be aware that you can't really trust these companies to protect your privacy. Like if you have a really sensitive issue, let's say you're doing a drug deal for whatever reason, you're dealing weed or something, and you need to convey some information to your customer. I don't know. I'm not trying to give you drug tips. I'm just telling you as a hypothetical. You should be speaking about sensitive information in person. if there's something you're really worried about, you shouldn't send it by email. Because, again, these companies have all built backdoors into their software. There's even a thing now where they were talking about, like, I forget, one of the major companies has software on phones that they're logging
That's
keystrokes.
existed for a long time. It's
Yeah.
called the Echelon system for like 20 years at least.
Yeah, so
all
they're-
phones are plugged into the Echelon system.
So, there's some software that's logging keystrokes. So, if they really wanted to see a text message you wrote, they could see it. So it's not like anything where you're relying on another party service to convey that information is strictly private. So I don't think you should go into this with an expectation of privacy. You should kind of say, well, here's my super sensitive information. Here's all the hookers I've killed. I'm going to keep this in my diary, in my physical diary, and then everything else I'll keep on, online in my email, on my social media, Facebook, Google Plus, etc. So, I think as long as you're aware of that, I think it's really, the issue with joining Google Plus is really negligible. I don't think it's really an issue, or it should be an issue.
All right.
That's my
How about
feeling.
Google Plus.
All right, I guess the Google Pluses have it. We've had the discussion.
So
All right.
that's the first topic.
Let's get back to it. Let's try. I want to run through these topics as fast as possible. I'm always gung-ho to get through all these topics, so let's see if we can do it today. Get through every single topic.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Destroy them.
Okay.
Oh, nice 3-punch combination, Tiger. Oh, you're gonna knock someone out.
N3, NC State, 83. All right, let's see what we got here. First attempt at an EM report. Whose cat's on?
His cat's on fire.
Somebody's cat's on fire. All right, here we go. Okay, let's see. You guys see this screen all clearly?
Yes.
Okay, my first attempt at an EM report on the phone. Me at 7. I think we covered this one.
Yeah, I think we did.
I think we covered this one. I think we can delete it. Yes.
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 We did too.
Hold on.
Here heard it.
I told him I'd move the EM report. You move the entire thing. Yes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I met this chick at a bar. We danced. Okay, so let's cover one of these later reports. Since we're here, we might as well cover one of them. Okay, scroll down. Okay, let's cover this one.
Oh.
All right, let's go through this real quick. This is a text message. Okay, this is NC State 83's EM report. This is a text message interaction with a female that I met the previous night at a bar. I didn't provide tons of incentive, but I expressed myself well, and we danced for a song. Okay, what's wrong with the sentence, Blue? I didn't provide tons of incentive, but I expressed myself well, and we danced for a song.
We danced. We danced for a song.
Well, what's wrong with the entire sentence? It's the second sentence. I didn't provide tons of incentive, but I expressed myself well, and we danced for a song. Let's ask Franchise. Franchise, what's wrong with that sentence?
I believe it doesn't indicate what kind of incentive he's trying to give.
Torero, what's wrong with that sentence?
Seems a little long.
What's that?
It seems a little long.
Jar, what's wrong with that sentence?
Multiple things are wrong with it. First of all, that's unnecessary in an EM report. Second of all, good expression is insensitive, so it's an oxymoron.
Yes, that's my main concern. I forget the grammar part of it, but
No, that's what
I didn't provide tons of incentive, but I expressed myself well. Okay. Keeping on. Oh, sweet. I could stay on this one here. Okay, keeping on. Hello, Miss Katie. I want to see you Wednesday night. I say we meet somewhere uptown, have a drink, and get to know each other. It will be good. Stating expectation and providing incentive. What glows in the closing brackets, Zyger?
So in the closing brackets,
Yep.
This is him, so it's either stating expectation. You want me to say what it should be?
What should it be? What would you put in the closing brackets?
Oh, let's see. It's just stating expectation. There's no incentive.
Okay,
I
state.
mean, it's not something that you could say providing incentive. That's
Right.
too vague. Either reward or punish or
Right, so stating expectation is fine. Katie says,
in this
that,
case.
yeah, that is kind of you. I really don't do much during the work week because I have to get up at 5:45. However, or hopefully, we can work something out. Punish with justification. Shy Willie, agree or disagree?
Disagree.
What goes in there?
Hello?
Hello.
Punishing with rejection.
Punishing with rejection? Paper, you agree?
Yeah.
No,
No? What goes in there?
nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Jar, what goes in there?
I think just punishing with rejection.
Punishing with rejection, yes. Punishing with rejection. That's technically what goes in there. She's saying, why would you say punishing with rejection, DBP, if you did say agree with Jar?
Well, because, like, she's basically, she's not saying yes. She's not meeting his expectations, so she's punishing. She's basically like, she's not being direct with her punishment. She's not like saying no, but she's trying to give reasons why she can't meet his expectation.
Yes. Everybody catch that?
Yeah.
Okay. Me, are you getting old on, wait. Are you getting old on me? I'll have you home by 8:30. I'm sure you can handle that. Punish with negative association and inappropriate justification. Blue?
Punishment with negative association. I
Explain
agree
that.
with. He's equating her with not going with being old.
Okay, so he's saying you're an old lady if you don't go. Okay, so he's punishing her with a negative association, and then he says he made an inappropriate justification.
I don't really see the justification. I'll have you.
Anybody see the inappropriate justification he's talking about?
Yeah, I'll have you home by 8:30.
I think that I have you home by 8:30. I think that's an expectation. I'm sure you can handle that.
Yeah.
Why did he say I'll have you home by 8:30?
That's a punishment.
Is that a
He's
punishment?
trying to meet his.
Yeah.
Zyger, why did he say I'll have you home by 8:30?
Well, because he wants her to accept the expectation. He's trying to convince her. So
You're right,
it's
he's trying to
justification.
convince her. So what's that called when he's trying to explain, convince, reason with her?
Justification.
Right. Is that justification inappropriate as he claimed?
In this case, yes, because he doesn't have authority.
Okay, he hasn't what? He has authority, but he hasn't what?
Established it.
Who said it? Who said the magic words?
Establishing.
He hasn't established his authority.
What do you mean?
He hasn't established his authority. Who said what do you mean?
I said that. Paperclip.
Explain it to him, Zyger.
You want him to explain to me, or me
No,
to explain to
you're
him?
explaining to Paper said he didn't understand what you meant by he hasn't established authority.
Oh, well, what you have established authority.
What's
when
that
the
mean?
person-
Yes, tell us what that means.
You do it when your authority is established. The person is meeting your expectation without putting up resistance or without being passive aggressive. It's basically when they've reached the last state of submission. They meet your expectations.
Okay, if your authority is established, how does the other person feel about your authority? What does that mean in relation to the other person?
They accept it. They feel good about it.
They submit.
Jar, what does that mean? How does the other person feel about your authority?
They fear
You
it.
said it. You did say that.
Oh, somebody said it. Wait, Jar.
I was gonna say that means that they fear your authority.
Yes, they fear your authority. Why do they fear your authority, Shy Willie?
They don't want to. They don't want you to punish them.
Are you asking me or are you telling me? They don't want you to punish them?
Yeah, they don't want you to punish them.
They don't want you to punish them. You agree, Blue?
Yeah.
Okay, is that clear? Paper, do you understand that part?
Yeah. I just would think, but I would think that first you need to give incentive to be able to establish your authority.
First, you need to give incentive before you establish your authority.
Yeah.
Toro has something to say about that.
I agree with that.
Oh, he agrees with that. So what was your issue? I don't understand what are you bringing up?
Yeah, you said the answer is establishing authority, but how can you establish your authority without giving the person incentive?
That's not the answer. We're trying to figure out what goes in the brackets. We're saying that he made an inappropriate justification.
Because he hadn't established his authority.
Because that's why we're labeling it as inappropriate, because he hasn't established his authority. But we're not saying that he shouldn't make the justification. Just that if he hasn't established his authority, it's inappropriate. Now, I guess that means we are saying that. But your issue is he hasn't. Should he be explaining this thing? Should he be reasoning with her in this? Let's see. Should he be giving her incentive by reasoning by saying, "Hey, we'll be back by 8:30"? He's kind of explaining himself, basically giving her a reason to go out with him, is what you're saying. Versus if he hasn't established his authority, he should just be able to say, punish her by saying, "Are you getting old on me? Let's go."
Yeah. So saying I'll have you home by 8:30, that's irrelevant. That's not needed at all. That's just extra information that's not going anywhere.
I'll have you home by 8:30. He's using that to try to convince her it's okay to go. He's trying to reason with her, so it's a justification.
But saying that it's just worthless in the long run, because even when you establish your authority, you don't need to tell somebody that you'll have them home by 8:30, because they'll want to do what you say already from the get-go.
Right. Now, let's see. In this case, inappropriate justification. Let me think here. Inappropriately justifying. Inappropriate. Well,
I have a question, Plum.
yes.
Are you saying yes to me or to the other guy who's
I'm saying yes to your question. What's your question?
Yeah, like, to me, in this case, say if he was talking to guys, saying, in this case, I think the justification would be appropriate, since he's, like, giving reasons to a guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
More appropriate.
Here's
to a girl, yeah.
Here's the thing. If he's saying, let's say somebody's violating his expectation, like they're saying, it's somebody, let's say it's a girl, okay? We'll say a girl violating his expectation, but we'll put it in a different context. We'll say, hey, can you give me a ride to work? And you say to the girl, I can't, because you have to get to work at 8:30, right? Okay, so instead of saying, I can't because I have to get to work at 8:30, you could just simply say, I can't. Right?
Right.
Why would you not have to say, I can't because I have to get to work at 8:30? Why would that be inappropriate?
Because you have established your authority already, so it's unnecessary to say, like, give a justification of.
She needs your car ride. She's depending on you. She knows you can meet her need. She fears your authority. So for you to justify yourself in that case and say, hey, I can't give you the car ride because I have work at 8:30. It's unnecessary. You've already established your authority. In this case, there's no authority established, but there's also no incentive for her to meet his expectation. So
Right. That's what I meant. In the case of a guy, providing justifications could work as incentive, but in this case it wouldn't. I wonder, is that correct?
I would say in this case, I'm going to go back on my answer when I said inappropriate justification. I would say that in this case, if he hasn't given her enough incentive, it might be appropriate justification. It might be okay to reason where they're at this point. It's technically, she could be violating his expectation, but he hasn't given her enough incentive to even meet the expectation. So a justification in this case could be necessary. You know, we could say incentive can be, expressing himself better or telling her what they're going to do when they go out. That's all, or, again, bringing her into his experiences by sharing his personal reactions. That's all incentive, but also giving somebody a justification is also an incentive. Because, like, if I explain something to you, that's a justification. If I'm explaining why you should come to class, that's a justification on my part. Is that appropriate for me to explain to you why you should come to class, Torero?
Is it appropriate?
Yes, is it appropriate for me to say, hey, you should come to class because you're going to learn things? Or should I just tell you, hey, come to class?
You should just say, you already established your authority with this.
I've already established my authority, but is it inappropriate then for me to say, hey, come to class because?
It's not inappropriate. As far as if you didn't have as far as the opposite, if you didn't have authority with this.
Why would I feel inclined to explain to you, Torero, personally, versus, let's say somebody who is like, fuck you, why should I come to your classroom? A new guy, just a visitor. Hey, fuck you, why should I come to your classroom?
Because we already respect your authority.
We already have a relationship, which means I fear your authority. I fear displeasing you. I like you, right? We have a relationship, so you're meeting my needs. I'm not just meeting your needs. If we have a relationship, you're meeting my needs too. So me justifying myself to you by explaining, hey, Torero, it's a good idea if you come to class. That justification is because of the fear. I have fear of your authority. I worry about offending you. I worry about not meeting your needs. So I am making this justification to say, hey, Torero, this is the nature of our relationship. Because I'm meeting your needs, you haven't violated my authority. You haven't said you're not coming to class, or you hate class, or you hate me, or you think I'm stupid, or you think my teaching's stupid, or what I'm, you haven't tried to undermine my authority. So me giving you this justification, it's perfectly fine. Maybe it's even conducive to our relationship. For instance, let's say you have a kid, and he's doing all his homework, and he asks you a question. Okay, actually, let's say it this way. In the beginning, let's say you have a child, right? And he's not doing any of his homework. He's misbehaving in school. And he says, hey, Dad, I want you to tell me why you think the Mets are better than the Yankees. And you told him previously, hey, I want you to do your homework. So if you tell him, look, the Mets are better than the Yankees because you're providing a justification, you're explaining something to him, that's a reward to him. But he's not meeting your needs. He's violating your expectations. He's not doing his homework. So it's inappropriate at that time if you're making any kind of explanation to him because he's violating your expectations. But if he's meeting your expectations, and then he says, "Hey, Dad, explain to me why the Yankees or why the Mets are better than the Yankees." If he's already meeting your needs, meaning he's following your rules, he's doing his homework on time, then your justification is appropriate. It's even conducive to the relationship. If you're explaining to him why the Mets are better than the Yankees, he's valuing the time you're paying attention to him, giving this explanation, giving him some knowledge. So now it's cementing the relationship. It's making the relationship better. So in that case, the justification is warranted. It's necessary. It's appropriate. So right now, he just met this girl. He's trying to get her to go out on a date. We're taking it back to this situation. He hasn't given her enough incentive, obviously, to go out because she's making excuses. So is the justification necessary? DBP.
Yes, it's necessary because he hasn't given her any incentive at all. Like we said, justification is a reward.
Right. I don't know what he's talking because he hasn't recorded anything he said. I don't know how much incentive he's given her. If he's been a great guy, he's shown her. He's given her a thorough window into who he is in his person.
Yeah, so we're under the assumption that there is no incentive.
So we're just under the assumption he's going, "Hey, come out with me. Let's go out on a date." He's making a demand.
Okay.
His expectation is a demand on here. "Hey, come out with me. Go out with me." Right? So there has to be some incentive given to meet that demand. If you want to go out with me, why should I go out with you? Well, I can go out with this guy over here. I can go out with this guy over here. Why should I go out with you? So there has to be some incentive given. So I'm just going by what's here, and there's not enough incentive going if I'm just going by what's here. So at the very least, yeah, he could give that incentive. He could give that incentive and say, "I'll have you home by 8:30." But that's a very mild incentive.
Yeah.
Just telling you I can get you home by 8:30 isn't really a big incentive for going out with a stranger that you don't know. I could go, Charles Manson can have you home by 8:30, but you might be dead. So this is not an appropriate incentive. It's a mild incentive. Okay, keep going on. Katie, do you live in Charlotte? Punishing by ignoring my statement. Jar.
Yeah. That's, obviously punishing by ignoring the statement. Because I feel like she's asking the question as if she's agreeing to what he's saying. So that maybe they can hook up or get in the same car. I don't know. I feel like it's very unclear.
Zyger.
Oh, sorry, I spaced out.
Blue.
You live in...
I don't think it's, for me it wouldn't be punishing by ignoring. For me it would be a reward because she's asking about me, where I live. And, asking me where, if he lives in Charlotte, that's basically like a setup for a date.
Paperclip.
She's punishing by ignoring with authority.
She is ignoring his expectation. He's saying, "Hey, I'll have you home." His expectation is really, I want to go out. His expectation is, I say we meet somewhere, right, uptown. That's his expectation. She's asking, "Do you live in Charlotte?" She's ignoring his expectation. His expectation is he wants an answer. Now, he hasn't given her enough incentive. Girls are going to ask roundabout questions like, "Where do you live?" etc. They're really looking for incentive. It's not like they may not even be aware of it, but the fact that they're not agreeing to meet your expectations should tell you right off the bat, whether they realize it or not, they're looking for more incentive. Let's say this guy was Brad Pitt or a rock star, and he said, "Hey, Katie, I know you don't know me, but I'm Brad Pitt. I'm George Clooney, or I'm a rock star. I'm one of the most famous rockers around. I want to meet you for dinner tonight at 8:30. Do you think Katie's going to go, well, where are you from? What are your interests? And da-da-da. What's Katie going to say?
Yes!
My panties are wet. Let's go. She's all ready to go. Why is she ready to go? Franchise?
Because these are movie stars and they have better incentive to give her already.
The incentive is already there. What's the incentive, Blue?
Social status.
Yeah, social status. He's got huge, massive social status. So there's already built-in incentive into who they are right now. So when they say, "Hey, come out with me," no problem. He is not a huge movie star. He doesn't have that built-in social status. So he's going to have to give her some incentive. That's why she's asking, "Do you live in Charlotte?" and not answering his questions directly. If Brad Pitt asked a question like, "Hey, do you want to come out with me?" She would. Why would she be instantly say, "Oh yes, I'll meet you at 8 p.m. at this time. I'll be there. I'll be." Why would she be so adamant about being so accurate, Torero?
Because he wants to reward him with agreement. He wants to do whatever he says because
Why is she so accurate, Shy Willie? Yes, I'll meet you at that time on this exact corner. I'll be here. If I'm 2 minutes late, it's because my girlfriend's going to be late, but I'll be there exactly on time at that restaurant. Why is she so adamant about being accurate? Why would she instantly want to overmeet his expectation versus here where she's kind of ignoring and asking where he lives, indicating not enough incentive? Why would she answer in that way?
Because his social set is enough incentive for her to want to meet his expectations.
No. Why is she being super accurate, DBP?
She's being super accurate because the amount of incentive Brad Pitt, I guess, has built in from social status, the demand he's making is very minute compared to the amount of incentive he gives.
No, what is she worried? No, you're missing something here. What is she worried about, Paperclip?
Not meeting his expectations.
Yeah, she's worried about not meeting his expectations. Whereas here it's backwards. Not enough incentive. If you have incentive, people treat you much differently. Like if Zyger is the president of Canada, people are going to treat him much differently. They're going to if he has an expectation or he states a demand or something, hey, meet me for coffee. They're like, oh, sir, I can't wait to meet you for coffee. It'll be so great. I'll pick you up. What time? Would you like it to be 8:35 or 8:36? They're going to want to overmeet his expectation. Why, Jar?
Because they want to meet his expectation.
Why do they want to meet his expectation?
Because of the incentive.
Zyger, can you answer?
I guess because if they meet his expectation, then they'll expect him to take care of them, to fulfill their needs, things like that.
Right. So what are they worried about?
That if they don't meet his expectations, he'll ignore them, he'll punish them.
Yeah, they're punishing because they fear his authority. Essentially, they fear his authority. That's why they're over-answering. There's a fear. If they don't meet the expectation, he's unhappy, they're going to get punished. They're going to lose his attention. That's when, we talk about ignoring with authority and ignoring without authority, that's ignoring with authority. If Brad Pitt's not paying attention to her, he's not even in her life. But suddenly if he does start paying attention to her, bam, authority already established. So now if he takes his attention away and says, hey, Katie, you're not doing what I want. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. No, come back here, Brad. All of a sudden, she fears the loss of his attention.
That's amazing.
So establishing that authority is super important. Okay, so right here, she lets you know, do you live in Charlotte? Meaning she's dismissing his expectation. She's answering in a roundabout way that basically he hasn't given her enough incentive. She's trying to get to know him, okay? Yes, I do live. I do. Where do you live? Rewarding her by answering and then stating new expectation. Torero?
I agree with the stating your expectation, but I thought we weren't supposed to worry about their expectations by rewarding or punishing theirs.
Well, he says he's rewarding her by answering and then stating her expectation.
Well, then I got nothing.
Blue.
I agree.
Agree?
I
DVP.
agree.
I don't think stating new expectation needs to be there. I think the where do you live is a reward as well.
Zyg?
Yeah, I don't know. Having someone answer a question by yes doesn't seem like a very big reward to me.
No, it isn't. It's like agreeing. It goes under agreement. Technically, it's a reward, but it's very little incentive.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the crux of the slang here.
Exactly. It's like saying, are you male or female? If you answer yes, aren't you rewarding me?
Yeah, in the most technical way imaginable,
in the most technical way possible, but it's not giving me a lot of incentive. That's not a big reward.
Right, so it's almost irrelevant to say that.
Yes. Okay. Katie, I live in Salisbury, rewarding by answering question. Again, if you're looking at the technical aspect, technically she's rewarding by meeting your expectation, but you guys got to understand, just answering a question is not a huge reward in the grand scheme of things. So be careful how you view these things.
Answer, like if you ask some questions and they give you one-word answers, technically it's a reward, but in fact they're just being polite. So it's actually a kind of punishment because they're like putting the minimum effort possible.
Yes, I would say
it feels like a punishment.
It could even be considered a punishment if you want to look at the overall context. If we're just looking at it technically, she's technically answered the question, but because she could just not answer. But again, like you pointed out, got to look at the overall context. Okay, so home by 8:30 will work. You will have to pick the place. I don't know the area. Restating expectation. Lol. Okay. Reward with agreement. Good. So here's the most important part of this deal. You have to laugh at all my jokes, smile, and give me a hug when you see me, and be happy in general. Stating expectation. I would say stating expectations.
Yeah.
Katie. That's my everyday personality, so we are good on that. Reward with agreement. Jar, what goes there?
There should be a justification as well. That's my everyday personality.
Should there be a justification there, Paperclip?
No.
Why not? Paper.
I'm thinking about it.
Blue. Should there be a justification there?
No,
Why not?
because we don't care about her.
We don't care about her justification. Whose EM report is this, Paper?
NC State A3.
Right, it's not Katie's EM report. We don't give a fuck if she's justifying or not. All we care about is what? In relation to us in the EM report, Shy Willie?
Whether or not they're meeting their expectation,
Yes, whether or not they're doing what to us.
punishing or awarding.
Yeah, that's all we care about. So, just stating, justifying, etc., it doesn't matter. But yes, Jar, you caught on to that. Jar's not here. You're right on. She is justifying herself, but again, it's not relevant to us. It's only relevant when we're justifying. It's a good indication, though, if you're paying attention. If somebody's trying to justify themselves to you, what is that telling you, Thoreau?
They're trying to justify it?
Yeah, she's trying to justify herself, and he put up this whole list of expectations. Hey, so here's the deal. You gotta laugh at my dumb jokes, you gotta smile, you gotta hug me, you gotta be happy. And she goes, that's my everyday personality, so we're good on that.
Since she's meeting it, I would take it as a reward.
Yeah, it's a reward. What does that tell you if the other person's trying to justify themselves to you?
It's a good sign.
It's a very good sign. Okay, let's see here. That's my perfect. So I'll be in Salisbury at 6:30 on Wednesday, and we'll go from there. Your curfew. We'll go from there until your curfew. Sounds good. Whoop whoop. Okay, let's see. Close that off. Okay,
It's funny they
perfect.
didn't mention AM or PM. That's a good recipe for disaster.
She meets him at 6. I was there at 6 a.m. 6:30 a.m. You weren't there. I got mugged. I met a mugger there. He took my wallet and raped me, but I was there for you. Perfect. I'll be in Salisbury at 6:30 on Wednesday, and we'll go from there until your curfew, blah, blah. Okay, I felt the interaction was
Like
decent.
that line from Dumb and Dumber. Are you sure you had the right time?
Okay, you did use it. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Stated that. Yes, you should avoid providing rewards when your authority is rejected by the other party. Okay. Well, I think we covered that. Let's go on to the next one. Close that. Beep. Yes. So we're averaging one topic per how many minutes, Zag?
Like 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Okay, we gotta keep it down to 10. Come on, we gotta focus here.
Okay, I'll give you suggestions when it's too long.
Yeah, suggest something if it's going too long. Okay, so we'll go to the next one. Let me refresh the page here.
Hexagon guys, EM report.
Okay, Hexagon.
That's gonna take-
Actually,
Oh,
these EM reports are pretty short, so this won't take too long at all.
All right, let's hit it.
Is he? Okay. No.
Let's see, is this the first one? Is he only did put in one here? Yeah, one. Okay, here we go. Hexagon guy. Well, I have to start somewhere here in my EN thread. This will work for now. Discussing the fucking filthy dirt. I have to stop. Discussing the fucking filthy dirt. I have to stop what I'm doing to go vacuum out of the passenger seat before we go do some other shit that she wants to do. Okay, quiet down. I can't concentrate with your laughter, DVP. Discussing the fucking filthy dirt. I have to stop what I'm doing. Okay, I think I understand. Discussing the fucking filthy dirt. I have to stop what I'm doing to go vacuum out of the passenger seat before we... Can somebody translate this? Does anybody understand what's going on here?
Can you go to my post? I think maybe I
Okay.
explained it. Just below. Your grammar makes it difficult to understand what you're talking about. For example,
Discussing...
oh yeah, no, I didn't understand it.
Yeah,
either.
you just pointed out that it was hard to understand. Okay, so we're just going to assume that somebody's vacuuming a passenger seat and a girl is involved because she wants to do. So we're assuming there's a girl involved. And it doesn't help with the W and K because it doesn't tell us the sex or who's talking. Let me see if there's an update to this report. Oh, maybe this is it. Oh, I think you did
There
an
we go.
update.
Translation.
Oh,
1 minute.
phew. Got a translation here. I was discussing the fucking filthy dirt that my girlfriend left in the passenger seat. Oh, it makes more sense. Due to her negligence, the last time she took my car and the dog over to a friend's house. Normally the dog is clipped in the back, thus the dirt is contained in the back seat. I had to stop. Why is the dog being clipped in the back? Oh, you mean buckled in. Okay, gotcha. I had to stop what I was doing so that I could clean that up in preparation of us going somewhere. Neutron. The next time the dog is that dirty, be sure to clip him in the back seat. Be sure to buckle him in the back seat. That word threw me off. I finally understood what he meant. He means buckle the dog in. Okay. The next time the dog is that dirty, be sure to buckle him in the back seat. Stating expectation. Blue?
I agree.
Okay. Kitten. I didn't know he was that dirty. Not meeting my expectation. DVP?
Punishing with, actually, I think that's a reward. I just don't know what kind.
Justification?
Well,
Torero, what is that?
I think it's justification. She's trying to explain herself.
Does justification go there, Shy Willie?
No, she's rejecting.
Shy Willie, does justification belong in there?
No,
Why not?
because we're not worried about justifications in an EM report.
Yes, we're not. Well, we are worried about them, but under what circumstances? Who are we worried about?
What was that?
We are worried about justifications, but only who?
Our own.
Are you asking me or are you telling me? Our own?
Yes.
Our
we're
own
worried about our own
justifications?
justifications.
Say it again.
We're worried about our own justifications.
Yes, you Mac 10. You're worried about your own justifications. Whether she's justifying herself or not is irrelevant to us. Okay. I didn't know he was that dirty. What goes in the brackets? Is it not meeting my expectations? Is that what goes there, Shy Willie?
No, it should be punishing with rejection.
Zyger, what goes in the brackets?
Well, first, is it a punishment or reward? It's kind of ambiguous here, because I don't know the voice tone. From the context, I would say that it's a justification, so it's a punishment. Not disagreeing.
He's basically saying,
Either
look,
ignoring or
she did something wrong. It's implied that she did something wrong. So he's going, next time, meaning the next time, I don't want you to fuck up. The dog is dirty. Be sure to clip him in the back seat. So don't let him. He's basically implying don't let him get in the front seat. So he's scolding her really when he's stating his expectation. She says, "I didn't know he was that dirty."
I think it's a punishment because if you look what she says later, she says drop it, like giving him an attitude.
Obviously, it's a punishment because she's making excuses for why she couldn't do it. I didn't know he was that dirty. It's not my fault. What goes in the brackets?
maybe complaining.
Punishing by ignoring with authority.
Punishing by ignoring with authority. Agree or disagree, Blue?
I disagree.
What goes in the brackets?
Punishing.
By what? I didn't know he was that dirty.
By complaining.
You don't know? Well, you should know. Jar knows.
Punishing by disagreement.
Yes, but I would say even a little more. Torero knows.
Rejecting?
Are you asking me or are you telling me? Rejecting?
Rejecting.
Rejecting.
Damn it.
Rejecting, damn it. You agree, DBP, or disagree?
Disagree.
What should be there?
Punishing by whining.
Punishing by whining. I would agree with that one.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that dirty.
I didn't
Right?
know that existed, punishing by whining.
I didn't know that existed either.
It
But
goes.
isn't it complaining?
Well, it's complaining. Sorry,
You
it should be
call it
complaining. Punishing by complaining.
By complaining.
I didn't know he was that dirty.
Hold on, but isn't she ignoring his expectation too? By changing the subject, or by just not saying, yes, I will make sure not to do that again?
Where are you reading?
She says, I didn't know he was that dirty.
Yeah.
She's completely ignoring his expectation, which is like, look, just next time, be sure to put him in the back seat.
He's saying next time clip him in the back seat, implying she didn't do it right because he got the front seat dirty. So she's saying I didn't know he was that dirty. So she's making an excuse. Obviously, she's ignoring his expectation because his expectation is, hey, just punish or just next time don't fuck up, put him in the back seat. So she's complaining. Hey, she's punishing by saying, hey, I didn't know he was that dirty, making a justification, making an excuse.
So punishing by whining or complaining.
I would take that. I would even take ignoring. Let me see.
Yeah, you take my answer?
Yeah, I would take your answer. I would take ignoring.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, some of these things overlap. Okay, bullshit, motherfucker. I'm sorry, I'm going to read exactly what he said. He didn't say motherfucker. He said, bullshit. You knew he was dirty. You texted me about it.
Oh, he was doing so well.
Punishment
I
by
know.
hold on. Punishment by disagreement. That's bullshit. You knew he was that dirty. You texted me about it. I caught you. Punishment by disagreement. Shy Willie, what goes there?
I agree with punishing by disagreement.
Oh, Zyger, agree or disagree?
I would say more scolding, so I disagree.
Ooh, we're missing something valuable in there. Jar, what goes in those brackets?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say that he justified himself when he's talking about...
What goes in the brackets? Tell me what exactly goes in the brackets.
Okay, so a punishment by scolding, then inappropriate justification.
Oh, Torero, agree or disagree?
I agree.
Let's check the main man, Paperclip, the rogue.
Hell yeah, I agree too.
Franchise.
Thumbs up.
Okay, there you go. This is very important. Why is this important to note, Blue?
It's important to know because we have to know when we're inappropriately justifying ourselves.
Right. What happened? Go ahead. Answer. What's the problem with inappropriately justifying yourself? He's scolding here, so he's doing something right. But what's the problem with inappropriately justifying yourself?
When you're inappropriately justifying yourself, it's almost as it's like a reward.
Yes.
Almost.
What are you rewarding?
Your explanation. She hasn't deserved your explanation.
Yeah. So what are you rewarding?
You're rewarding her bad behavior.
Yes. You're telling her keep behaving badly. When you're rewarding her with a justification, when your authority isn't established, she doesn't fear your authority, you're rewarding her for not fearing your authority. You're rewarding her for telling you to fuck off, basically. You're rewarding her excuses. All that scolding you did, down the drain. Because now you're rewarding her with justifications. Bullshit. You knew it was dirty. You texted me about it. Now she says, drop it. State's expectation in conflict with mine. Zyger, what goes in there?
Wow.
Go ahead. She's punishing him by disagreeing.
Punishing by disagreeing. Blue?
She's punishing him by being in charge.
Nope. Franchise.
Punishing by ignoring.
Paper?
Punishing by scolding.
Yeah, money man. Drop it. You shouldn't be doing that. Drop it. So I would accept disagreeing, ignoring. No, because she's acknowledging the expectation. So I would say rejection is better than ignoring. But of course, like scolding, she's trying to scold him. Drop it. It's not appropriate. Don't do it. Next time, neutron. Next time he is that dirty, clip him. Buckle him in. Not meeting her expectation, restating my expectation. I'm going to give you a hint. Shy Willie, what goes there? Next time he's that dirty, clip him in.
Punishing by ignoring.
Blue?
I don't know what this would be. He's not addressing what she just said.
Okay.
So he's rewarding her, I guess. He's rewarding her.
You know what?
Can I try?
Go ahead.
It should be just restating my expectation because my expectation doesn't matter.
Restating expectation. Okay. Yeah, he's not doing anything. He's rewarding her because he's not addressing her bad behavior. She's saying drop it. She's scolding him. She's telling your authority doesn't matter. And he's saying next time he's that dirty clip. He's still caring about this technical issue when the real issue is her attitude.
So
she doesn't respect him.
It's like it's nullified.
What should really happen here, Shy Willie?
You should punish her by.
What would you do? You're here, right here. Okay, I'm the chick, and you say you do your thing. Bullshit. Go ahead, say your line. Start with bullshit.
Bullshit. You knew he was out there.
No, you're pissed off. You caught me. You just caught me in a lie. Come on, man.
Bullshit. You knew.
No, you ever seen Top Gun? You gotta do that bullshit. Come on, bullshit. Come on, do it.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's it.
You knew he was that dirty. You texted me about it.
Drop it, Shy Willie. Just drop it. Okay, now forget what he said. What should you say at that point? Is not the right answer. What should you say, Shy Willie?
I don't know.
Well, you're going to find out because we're about to give you the answer. Franchise is going to give you the answer. Just drop it, Franchise.
Like scold her or acting with bad behavior.
No, you're supposed to tell me. Forget about the report. You're going to give me the right line to say right now. Okay, go ahead. You got to say his line ahead. Go ahead.
Me?
Ahead of mine. Yeah, go say his line.
Bullshit. You knew he was that dirty.
You texted me about it.
Oh, you texted me about it.
You know what? Just drop it, Franchise. And then you say, what goes there?
Shut the fuck up.
What goes there?
Don't talk to me like that.
Which one are you going with? I need one answer. Come on.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. Let's pull. We're gonna go around there. All right. Terrell, you're up. Read your line.
I'd say shut the fuck up, and then next time he has that dirty clip him.
Jar.
I would say, like, I'd be like, hey, don't address me that way. And then I would say, next time he's dirty, clip him.
Okay. Number one, I would not say next time he's dirty, clip him. Why wouldn't I say that, Zyger?
Because you haven't established your authority. At
Yes.
that point, repeating yourself is a justification.
Yes, we don't know yet
So
if she's going to agree
right.
or disagree. What if she says drop it a second time?
Right.
Right.
So
we need to adjust that.
we haven't even addressed her attitude yet, whether she's going to respect my authority or not. So all these other expectations are irrelevant until her authority, or until I've established my authority, until she's met, or until she's acknowledged me that I'm in charge. So as soon as she says, well, let's see here, I would have started right at the beginning, right up here, where she says, I didn't know he was dirty. What would you say right at that point? Let's go back to the beginning where the original problem happened, okay? So,
Can I try?
yeah, let's try with Blue. Blue, we're going to start right at the beginning. Forget about the report. We're just going to read the lines, okay?
Alright.
The next time the dog is dirty, be sure to clip him in the basket. That's you. Go ahead.
Okay. The next time the dog is that dirty, be sure to clip him in the back seat.
I didn't know he was that dirty. Okay, now, forget about the rest of it. Give me what should be said there.
I didn't ask for your excuses.
Ah, I didn't ask for your excuses. See that? That does what? Why did you say that to me? What was the point of saying that? I didn't ask for your excuses.
The point of saying that was because I'm letting her know what I want, not what she wants to tell me. So I'm punishing her. I'm basically reiterating what I want.
What is the point of what he said, DVP?
He's punishing her.
Right, but what is the point of that punishment? What is it supposed to do? It does something.
Excuses. You gotta just admit it.
Jar, what does that punishment force her to do?
Well, it looks at her attitude. It looks at her behavior.
Yes, it focuses on her behavior. It says, you're the problem. That is always the thing we want to do with people who are disrespecting our authority, not fearing our authority. We always want to point and focus on their behavior. What are they trying to do? Paper?
They're trying to punish you.
Franchise, what are they trying to do?
Punish your bad behavior.
Anybody been paying
They're
attention?
trying to
Terrell, what are
focus
they...
on you.
Yeah, wait, Zyger said it. What are they doing? Zyger said it. What?
They're putting the focus on you.
Yes. They're trying to blame you or put the focus on you away from their bad behavior or make excuses. So it's not them. It's the dog. The dog. I don't know. I didn't know it was that dirty. It was something else. It wasn't me.
The dog ate my homework.
The dog ate my homework. I was going to do it. The dog ate it. If the dog ate your homework, what should I do? Oh, sorry, get a better dog? No, I would say, you're irresponsible. Don't put your homework near the dog. I'm focusing it back on your behavior, on your dysfunctional behavior. So when Blue says, or when she says, I didn't know he was dirty, and Blue says, what?
I didn't ask for your excuses.
I didn't ask for your excuses. He's saying, you're the problem. Don't give me excuses. Do what I told you. Okay, now she responds back, just drop it. Or wait. I didn't know he was dirty. And then you say, I didn't ask for excuses. And then I say, just drop it. And then Jar says what?
Oh, what did I say? Shit, I said, like, don't address me that way or something.
I'm not asking what you said. I'm asking you to do it right now. We just went through it. We're going through from Blue. So Blue said, next time the dog is dirty, be sure to clip in the basket. I said, I didn't think he was that dirty. And then Blue said, I didn't ask for your excuses. And then I reply, just drop it. Then you say,
I reply, don't act like a bitch.
Don't act like a bitch. Why did you do that?
Because I'm focusing on her behavior.
Yeah, we haven't even solved the authority issue yet.
Yeah.
There's no authority established, so we still have to punish. That means we have to up the punishment. Stop acting like a bitch. We have to turn full attention to her behavior. We have to focus on her. Okay, so if I told you, just drop it, Shy Willie, what would you say? Just drop it, Shy Willie.
I'd say, don't act like a bitch.
Why are you saying don't act like a bitch?
Because she's
Because you're trying to do what? You're trying to focus on what?
she's trying to focus on my behavior,
And you're trying to focus on what?
on her behavior.
On her behavior, yes. Is that clear with everybody?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
With me.
At this point, she's already in the other room, and we're having a conversation, blah, blah, blah. Nothing else was said. Okay, so we can see why that's a fail. All right. Even if she did remember to clip him in next time, authority is not established here. You can see by her words, she doesn't fear his authority. So guess what's going to happen next time, Torero? It's not going to be the dog. They're going to be fighting over the milk. Then what's going to happen?
She's gonna rebel again.
Yeah, same problem. And then resentment's going to build up. She's going to keep pushing the line, keep pushing the line. You haven't solved anything. If you
Next topic?
Yes, next topic. Let's go.
This is frustrating, man.
What's frustrating? Sorry, what?
Having to build up your authority, and they're gonna like challenge you every fucking.
No, this is what you don't understand. Because you are a lazy guy and haven't established your authority, you don't realize once you fight to establish the authority, it's much easier the next time around. The next time a dispute comes up, it's actually easier. It's not harder. It's not the same. But you don't realize that because you haven't established your authority yet.
If you want to live your entire life in conflict, having everyone like piss you off all the time, that's tedious shit.
Blue's saying this because he's saying we had to put up such a fight here. The next one's going to be just as bad. He hasn't realized this. The reason why he's saying that is because he hasn't established authority in the first place. If he had established authority in the first place, and then another disagreement came up, he would realize, oh, it's much easier now because I have established my authority. Okay, next one. Next topic. Close that one. Bamp. Back. Close. Why is reading important to honing your expression, Blue?
It's important to hone your expression because that's what provides incentives to others. Did I just say that?
I don't know. DVP.
It provides incentive to others.
Why is reading important to honing your expression?
Oh, well, it's important because it helps you with your grammar, and it helps you look at other people's expression, and you can see how people construct their sentences, what words they use, and you can implement it in your own writing or your own...
DVP, why is reading important to honing your expression?
It broadens your, I guess, the arsenal of words you have, and the words you can use. And
Franchise. Why is reading important to your expression?
Franchise is AFK.
Okay. Paper, why is reading important to honing your expression?
Because it helps me form, structure what I want to say. It helps me convey exactly what I want to say in a clear and in a clear way, clear manner.
Right. Why is that important?
So the other person can understand what I'm saying and can relate or can experience what I'm talking about.
Yes. If you don't have proper structure when you're speaking or writing, just like this guy's first sentence, I don't even want to fucking read it. I gotta struggle to understand he's clipping in something that's dirty and it's fucking bullshit and this and that. I'm like, this sentence doesn't even make sense. There's no structure to the writing. There isn't an orderly thought. So I can't follow it. I can't enter into the experience. I can't appreciate it. I'm turned off by it. I don't care now. Okay, so to see some we're going to
Teen angst.
We're going to teen angst. Hold on here.
Expression or good expression?
We're going to teen angst poetry.
Angst, teen angst.
Teen angst poetry. Here we are. Teen angst poetry, blogspot.com.
Sloppy.
Okay. We're going to look at some examples of expression. We're going to critique some examples of expression. Please read this nice poem here, Blue, titled Soppy.
Soppy. Just to hold you close to me, just to hear you talk, just to take a walk with you would be enough. To make me see that I like you enough to do stuff that I would never do unless it was for you. I'd pick flowers for you. There's no one else who I'd do these things for. Never done them before. Feels so strange. Try to rearrange my feelings for you. Guess it must be true. I probably love you.
Okay. Don't laugh too hard because this is how some of you sound on the forum. Not in these exact words, but the sentiment is that simplistic. Just let's cover the first 4 lines here, Torero. Just to hold you close to me, just to hear you talk, just to take a walk with you would be enough. Okay, forget about them not rhyming, but what's the problem here?
They're just describing actions.
Just to hold you close to me, that's a sentiment. I want to hold a girl close to me. Yeah. What's wrong with that, Jar?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong. Like that when the first 3 sentences, I thought it was going to be a good poem.
Just to hold you close to me, just to hear you talk, just to take a walk with you. Okay?
Would be enough. I mean, it sounds fine to me. I don't think.
Yeah, it's fine if you were in first grade. What's the problem there, Zyger?
Well, I have no idea what they're talking about. It just starts in the middle. That's pretty it. Of course, it's poetry, so you could say it's poetic license.
Yeah.
But I'm lost from the start.
Shy Willy.
What are we talking about?
Whoops. Yes, I'm still there. Hold on, let me bring my screen back. Shy Willy, any problems you see there? Just to hold you close to me? Just to hear you talk? Just to take a walk with you?
It sounds like Yoda wrote this.
Sounds like what?
It sounds like Yoda is talking. Like whoever wrote this has Yoda grammar.
It sounds like you wrote this poem because all you said to me was, sounds like Yoda. You made one reference. The problem here is the same problem with most of your guys' expression. It's not very explicit. There's not the degree of you. Just to hold you close to me. Okay, this is a common sentiment. There have been a billion poems, this is why this is on teenage poetry, a billion poems that say, just to hold you close to me. There's also a billion poems that say, I have a lot of fears, I'm crying a lot of tears. If you haven't read many books or haven't read much bad teen poetry, you might think, I have a lot of fears, I cry a lot of tears. Isn't that bad? You may think it's an original sentiment. But when you start reading more and more and more, you start seeing common themes. Yes, start seeing common patterns. People rhyming words like, I love you, I'm so true, the sky is blue. I don't even have to guess to know that billions of people have already written that sentiment in so many forms. That I would never do unless it was for you. These sounds like the lyrics to most pop songs today. Baby, I'm so true. I would never do wrong by you. I mean, how many people have said this? If you don't read, if you don't get exposure to what other people are saying, you won't realize how cliche you sound.
Wow. It's true that if you read this whole poem, you realize that it would be impossible to tell who wrote this.
Yeah, this could be everybody. I want to hold somebody close. I want to hear somebody talk. I want to just take a walk with them. But just to hear them talk about what? The sound of their voice, what? What is the sound of their voice? How does it affect you? All these things are super important to your expression. Okay, let's go on. Let's check another one of these.
This is a depressing website. So I have a comment about this website,
yes.
though. Isn't it that any team can update their own poems?
I'm not sure. It's just it's conglomeration where people are just basically collecting bad teen poetry. And
is that it? Okay.
You'll kind of see common themes. Okay, let's get this next one. The only one you'd see. Blue, go ahead.
If I could tell you how I feel, you could make my dreams come real. And maybe I could be the only one you'd see. I try and find the words, explain how much it hurts, but all I do is fuck up. End up wishing I had shut up. Not looking for a wife, but want more than a bit part in your life. So if you have some time to spare and are looking for someone who cares, then maybe I could be the only one you'd see.
Okay, there's actually some parts in this which were fine for me, but again, the same sentiments. You'll see the same themes if you read these types of poems. Feel, dreams. I think there was even a site, it aggregates like the amount of words used, or the specific words used. So you'll see like popular words are blue, tears, dreams, sky, hurt, things of that nature, where you see these words written over and over and over and over and over and over again. The problem is, a lot of these times when you write poems or you write entries, expression posts, you know exactly how you feel. Like if you say, my dad hurt me, or I was hurt by this girl, or this movie touched me, right? You know exactly the degree of how it touched you, or you can flash back in your mind and go, that thing hurt me that much. But when you write that to somebody else and you say, this movie touched me, when I write that to Jar, what does that mean? There's no specific degree of me in that sentiment, so it's lost on Jar. So what if it touched me? How? How is the important question. How, according to me, was I touched? But if I can't convey that, and I just tell Jar in a general way, this poem touched me, or this girl, my girlfriend, she hurt me. How did she hurt me? To what degree? How was the experience for you? What did it make you think about? How did it make you feel? If I can't convey that, Jar can't even enter into my experience of what it's like to be hurt, or what it's like to be moved, or touched, etc. All those things become meaningless. So if you can't get this through in your expression, especially when you're writing something on the forum, if you're just talking about, I dreamt of a girl, I hope she's real. These words are so overused and so generic and so general. They don't. What happens in the dream is what is interesting to me. Not that you dream of a girl, or people say, this is my perfect girl. This girl is my perfect girl. Why is she your perfect girl? The degree that expresses your sentiments, your thoughts, your feelings. If you can't do that in your written expression, you will suffer because other people won't be able to relate to you, and other people won't want to read you. Other people won't want to form a relationship with you. Another problem is when people say things like, you really hurt me. Like, Blue, if I tell you, Blue, hey man, that thing you said, it kind of hurt. Or if I say, that thing you said, it really hurt me. Did I use the same word?
You used the same word.
Did it mean the same thing when I said hurt, you hurt me?
No.
No, I had different voice inflection. So I meant something different when I said both of those words hurt. Just like when we say dude, or dude, or dude, right? We're using the same word, but different inflection and conveying a totally different meaning. But the meaning is in your inflection. When you write, you have to learn how to cut that word up. Why do you have to learn how to cut that word up, Jar, when you write it down? How come you can no longer just say, you hurt me? When in person I could say, hey, Jar, you hurt me, or I could say, Jar, you hurt me, man. Why do I have to cut that word up once I write it down?
Because I'm not brought in enough to your experience. I don't know what it means to be. I don't know what you hurt me means. I don't know how.
What's the difference between when I say it? Because you know when I say it, I say, hey, Jar, you hurt me. Right. And Jar, you hurt me, man.
Oh, okay, right. Because you can't get the voice inflection in the sentence.
There's no inflection in the word.
Right.
So now the word has to be cut up by necessity. You can't enter into that degree of that word.
What do you mean by cut up, Professor?
It has to be split up. Like when I say, you hurt me, versus I say, you hurt me, there's inflection. So already that word is divided in its meaning. Isn't that use of the word hurt divided from the second use of the word hurt when you heard it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are two different meanings for that word, right? One is more severe than the other. But when you're writing it down on the page, it looks like the same word. There's no degree difference. When I say he hurt me or he hurt me, they read the same.
So what if they wrote, H-E-H-U-U-U-U-R-T?
Yeah, H-U-U-R-T with lots of exclamation marks. That's one way to indicate there's a different degree of hurt. You could write that way. What's another way to do it, Paper?
By capitalizing each letter in the word.
By capitalizing each letter. What's another way to do it, Torero?
I was going to say just to write it out longer, but someone
We covered that. What's another way? Give me another way.
exclamation points.
Okay, DVP, what's another way?
You could put, instead of exclamation points, you could just put it, you could put hurt and a bunch of dots.
Okay, let's think of another, Jar, tell me another way without using the word hurt.
I'm not sure what you mean. I was going to say bolding, but...
No.
Okay.
Give me another way without using the word hurt. All those ways, they all mention superficial ways of changing the meaning, but what else could you do?
So you could write ouch, you could write, that was painful. I don't get what you're trying to ask.
Okay, let's see, Shy Willie, give me another way of saying it.
I don't get what you're trying to ask me.
Okay,
So
I'm saying you hurt me,
words?
you hurt me, instead, without using the word hurt.
I have an answer.
Shy Willie.
I don't know.
So you could say you tore me to pieces.
There you go, you tore me to pieces. Terrell, what's another way of saying it?
You took my heart out and threw it on the ground.
You took my heart out and threw it on the ground. We get a picture. Franchise, what's another way of saying it?
Damaged my soul.
You damaged my soul. Another common one. My soul is crushed, right? They're using the word soul. Blue, what's another way you could say it?
You betrayed me.
You betrayed me. Okay, a specific way you was hurt. What's another way of saying it, DVP?
You pierced my heart with your words.
Okay, what's another way of saying it? Franchise?
You already went.
Franchise?
You stepped in my heart like glass.
Okay, let's not use heart. Let's not use soul. Let's not use glass. Franchise, what's another way of saying it?
Battered me.
Okay, paper, what's another way of saying it?
My day turned to night.
Oh, my day turned into night. Speaking about something else to convey the meaning of how he felt. What's another way of saying it, Terrell?
I would have been more happy if you killed my puppy in front of my eyes.
Oh, comparing it to something else he loves, okay? So comparing pain. What's another way of saying it, Jar?
You stabbed me in the back.
Okay? Stabbing. Imagery. What's another way of saying it? Shy Willie?
You made me cry myself to sleep.
You made me cry myself to sleep. DVP, what's another way of saying it?
You scarred me permanently.
You scarred me permanently. How about you bitch?
That works.
How about, why? Why did you do this thing? Or, there's a billion different ways that convey your personal reaction. But if you just rely on the description, hurt, it may work when you're speaking, but once you start writing it down, you will lose people because you're not conveying your specific degree of your person. This is why it's so crucial for you to be reading, for you to be examining other people's expression, to get into the different degrees of expression and how people do it. Just see, we named a bunch of different ways to say, I'm hurt. Not only just superficially changing the appearance of the word, changing the phonetic sound, but also getting into imagery, associations, feelings, word triggers, like you bitch. Triggering
Wait a minute.
a sentiment.
Professor,
Yes.
now that we've nailed expression with expectation management, if a girl does hurt us, I mean, is it bad that we say, you hurt me?
Let's ask DVP. DVP knows the answer to that. Is it bad to say to the girl, hey, you hurt me?
No?
Why not?
she's already this. I don't know.
Torero.
I would say no because it's part of being candid and open with them. You don't want to hide anything.
Paper.
It's okay as long as she fears my authority.
Oh, see that? He gave the right answer. Because a lot of people will say before the authority is established, the reason that even why she's hurting you in the first place is because you haven't even established your authority. So if you haven't established your authority, this is ample opportunity for her to do lots of things to violate your expectations, which cause you hurt. So the reason why Blue is asking this question is because he's used to having his expectations violated. How often do you think I tell girls, hey, you hurt me?
Probably never. Yeah, I was going to say you probably haven't done it in the last... Actually, no. I bet you have... No, you have told a girl that they've hurt you before.
I can't remember the last time.
Oh.
Why can't I remember the last time?
Because you manage your expectations really well.
Yeah, I manage my expectations. If somebody is hurting me, what do I need to make sure to do before I even address that?
Make sure that you are the authoritative position, I guess. That they fear your authority.
That they fear my authority. If they don't fear my authority, then me sharing something about my feelings is rewarding them for bad behavior. If I tell somebody who's violating my expectations, it doesn't fear my authority, I say, hey, you hurt me. What am I doing, Torero?
You're rewarding they're punishing you with your expression, your attention.
They're what? What's happening, Blue? If I'm saying, hey, you really hurt me, and she violated my expectation.
You're complaining.
Jar, got an answer?
I got the answer.
Okay, give it to us.
You're justifying yourself.
Agree or disagree, Blue? DVP?
Disagree. You're rewarding her for bad behavior.
You're rewarding her for bad behavior.
But
How is it a reward? Explain it, Shy Willie. How is that a reward? You're saying you hurt me, and she's violating your expectations. She's going to talk to other guys. She's talking to all her guy friends. You hurt me when you do that.
Because you're putting the focus on your behavior instead of her behavior.
Torero, agree or disagree?
I disagree, but it's already something I mentioned. I said you're rewarding her bad behavior by expressing yourself, giving her attention.
Ah, that's not what you said, but now you said it clearly. Say that again so people can hear.
You're rewarding her bad behavior by expressing yourself and giving her attention.
That's not technically the issue, though. Franchise, you want to take a guess?
No idea. I was agreeing with Shy Willie.
Okay. So a girl just violated my expectation. Oh, paperclip.
You're rewarding her by accepting the behavior.
By accepting the behavior. Okay.
Yeah.
So somebody is hanging out, my girlfriend's hanging out with her guy friends, all her guy friends, and she comes home and say, you really hurt me. You really hurt me.
I know. Okay, I got it.
Okay, now Jar has it.
So you're focusing on your own behavior, not focusing on her behavior.
You really hurt me. So,
I know.
Blue, DVP.
You're giving her your reaction to her bad behavior instead of punishing it. And when you're giving her your reaction, that's a reward.
You're rewarding her, yes, for her bad behavior when you should be punishing her. If this is something you don't like that's violating your expectations, this deserves a punishment. What happens when I say, hey, you make me feel bad? What am I letting her know? Who has the power to make us feel bad, first of all?
The people that we fear the authority.
Oh, we got somebody smart in class. Hold on. Maybe Terrell can repeat this in a coherent way so that everybody can understand now.
The people that we fear the authority of.
Oh, so now Shy Willie's going to all put it together and make us all smart.
The people that have authority over us.
Yes, we got that part. We got that incomplete thought. Now I want you to make it into a complete thought so we understand what's going on. Explain what I just talked about, or explain what he just talked about.
We fear their authority, so we don't want them to punish us.
That's not a complete thought. That doesn't express the problem here. Blue, can you sum this up? Can you explain what's going on here now?
When you let someone know how you feel without establishing your authority first,
Okay.
you're letting them know that they have the authority over you.
Oh, why?
What they do?
How do we know that? Why? What lets us know that?
How do we
How do we know that they have authority over us?
they have authority over us because we're letting them know how they make us feel.
Yes.
Instead of,
There you go. Jar.
Yeah.
Can you put it together for us?
Okay.
Pay attention, franchise. You're next.
Hard. Okay, so this is so hard. When we fear somebody else's authority, we focus on our behavior instead of focusing on their behavior because we want to make sure that we are meeting their expectations as opposed to them meeting our expectations.
Look at this smart guy.
It's still so jumbled. It's still a mess.
Okay, well, it's going to have to become clear because once you're clear on this,
Yeah.
then you'll understand your own expectation management. It'll become simple. Franchise. You sum it all up?
When I say you hurt me to the person that hurt me, I'm giving I would say, basically the authority or my feelings to that other person, and they've already taken over the authority position. That sucks.
Uh-oh, we got some guy to clarify here. Paper, hit it.
when we fear someone else's authority, we're focusing on getting their expectations met instead of ours.
Okay.
Put it on paper.
And
That's good.
DVP, he's going to put it all together.
The only people that can make us feel that are people that have authority over us.
Okay, did people hear that? This is a good
Yeah, I
start.
heard that.
Say it again louder so we can hear.
The only people that can make us feel bad are people that have authority over us.
Ah, so if there's a homeless guy saying, hey, you're an asshole, are we going to go, oh, man, I feel really bad now? No, because he doesn't have authority over us. Okay, so keep
Wait,
going.
I have a conflict with this.
Uh-oh, conflict.
How? But what about emotional attachment? I mean, you can have authority over someone but still have an emotional attachment.
Right.
And if they do something that
Okay,
hurts
so
you,
let's
you're not
say
legit-
you have a little kid. You're emotionally attached to your kid, right? You're the dad, right?
Right.
And the kid, you tell the kid, hey, come home and be home by 3 o'clock because that's your curfew. And he comes home at 5 o'clock. Is it appropriate for you to go, hey, you hurt me. You came home at 5 o'clock. You're hurting me. That really hurt me.
No.
What's the problem with that? Answer your own question.
The problem is you're not punishing, you're rewarding them.
How am I rewarding them?
The fact that you're focusing on your own behavior only rewards them, and they know that they can get away with certain things.
Yes, they know that they have the authority, that you're giving them the authority, essentially. When you say, you hurt me, you're giving them the authority. You should be the one hurting them, saying, look, now your ass is going to be blue because you're late. You're going to get punished. They should be the one worried about violating your authority. Then they're going to be the one saying, you hurt me. That's why when you're in charge, Blue, you know what's going to happen, which you've never experienced? Girls are going to start saying, Blue, you're being mean to me. You're hurting my feelings. Why are they going to say that to you?
Because they fear my authority.
Yes, because they're going to be in love with you. That's why girls are going to try and guilt you. They're going to be like, Blue, you're being mean. Why can't we go here? I want to go here, Blue. They're not going to be going, Blue, fuck you, man. I can go where I want. They're going to be some strong, independent feminist. They're going to try and do it passive-aggressively. They're going to try and guilt you. Blue, you're being mean to me. Honey, can't we just go here just for my birthday, please? That's what they're going to be doing. What does that tell you if they're doing that?
It means they love me.
Yeah, it means you have authority. So when you go, oh, you're really hurting me, honey. You're really hurting me when you do that to me. So please don't do it. Are you establishing authority, Torero?
No,
What are you doing?
you're respecting their authority.
Yeah, you're saying, hey, you're in charge. I'm not in charge. You're the really one in charge of this relationship. When is it appropriate then to say, hey, you hurt me?
Once your authority is established.
Yes. Yes. If you don't know this, you're fucked. This is why I rarely, or I don't even remember the last time I said, hey, you hurt me. Because I'm always establishing authority right from the start. There's no need for it to address it. Because if there's authority violations, I don't sweep them under the rug. Because if I'm sweeping something under the rug, I'm not dealing with the authority in the relationship. That's really what the real problem is. It's not that she hurt me. It's that I'm not dealing with the authority problem. So, Blue, if girls are constantly hurting you, you should take that as a sign. Authority is not yet established.
Is that another litmus test?
That is a litmus. Why don't you write that as a litmus test? If you are being hurt in the relationship, authority is not being established.
All right. Even post relationship, right?
Post-relationship indicates there was no authority, and that's why there is a post-relationship. That's what we should say. No relationship, not post-relationship. No relationship.
The litmus test once more, please.
Okay,
I'm already done.
we're going to close up shop here, but let's cover one more exciting poem. Why don't you read this one, Toro? It's called Untitled Poem.
Alright.
Wait, let me get it on the screen here. Hold on. Let me get it on the screen.
Wait,
Okay,
right there.
right there.
Went away, I feel okay. Alright. I get home, sink into my regular depression. Self-pity, self-loathing, self-analysis. What a win. I hate this life. What comes ahead? What was? What is? We are born to die. Go to school, work for 50 years, die. Another ant come and gone. That's all we are. If you think you're different, you're wrong. If you choose optimism, congratulations. I wish I could. I try, but my brain won't have it. Cursed to a life of self-pity, self-loathing, pessimistic whimpery.
Okay, a lot of common experience from a young teen. I would say this is actually good in parts. Like, for instance, he makes a comparison to an ant, so I get an imagery of an ant. Where does he say here? Go to school, work for 50 years, die, another ant come and gone. So there's a kind of a sophisticated comparison to an ant here. But again, we hear a lot of themes: depressed, self-loathing, self-pity, what a wimp. Actually, he states this almost in a more self-aware way, whereas most people say it like, so sad, makes me cry. Well, if you read, let's see if we can find one that kind of covers this, what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can order this book to read all these teen poems.
And it's also like queen. There's a queen of the emo.
You'll see a lot of words like soul. Here we go. Apathy sits in the pit of my soul. Melodramatic, my writings. Accurate depth perception falls short. They're going to use a lot of TION words. Perception, imagination, intuition, introspection. You're going to see a lot of themes. Why are you going to see a lot of big words in teen writing, Jar?
Because they don't know how else to properly break it down.
Yeah, they hope you'll get the concept just by them saying, I like to convey information. They're using a big concept because they don't want to break that concept down. That takes a lot of time. That takes effort. That takes arrangement. That's what you guys need to learn how to do, is take big words, big concepts, and break them down into your specific degree of experience. That is the attractive thing about you. If you're a guy that says, hey, I'm, let's see, if you're the type of guy that writes, let's see one here. You said you love me, but you won't. You think I'll stand for it. Well, I won't. So fuck you, you piece of poo. Like a piece of crap, I can't get you off my shoe. If you're this guy who has this very superficial expression, if you just talk about general concepts of life, like I laugh, I cry. You see a lot of teen poems that are saying, I laugh, I cry, right? How many people here laugh and cry? Does anybody here laugh and cry?
Yeah.
Yes.
All the time.
All the time. Thrill, all the time, laughing and crying. Blue, a lot of crying.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Jar, a lot of
crying.
laughing. Shy Willie, a lot of crying inside, right? A lot of laughing and
Sometimes you're
crying.
angry.
A lot of
What
anger.
if you're mad?
Oh, wait. He just said another word here. Angry. A lot of anger. So, in unsophisticated writing, in very superficial writing, you see just the description of the general emotion. I'm angry. I'm sad. You make me cry. You hurt me. Very general terms to describe common human experiences. How many times can you read, I'm hurt, or you hurt me, and be like, hey, why the fuck am I reading this? I need to not read this ever again. This is why when you read good writing, when you expose yourself to other authors, and you find this writing stimulates me, you realize it's because it's a personal voice. It's not just a general sentiment conveyed. You're not just conveying information. If you look up Google, you'll find billions of people who cry, laugh, are angry, are sad, are happy, every single day, everywhere across the planet Earth. So for people to care about you specifically, there has to be your specific person. There has to be your specific view. There has to be your specific thought. There has to be your degree of emotion. Your degree of hurt is different than Torero's degree of hurt. Your laughter is different than Jar's laughter. Your pain, another common word used by teens, pain. I'm in pain. I'm suffering. Another common word, suffering. Black as night, dark as day, right? Again, we need to know what that specific pain is for you. Your specific person is the attractive part of you. If you can only convey the general sentiment and not you, people will be turned off. They can find general information on the internet. They don't need you to know that people cry or that you're hurt or that there's hurting going on. Last questions before we go.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes, Jar.
Have you ever thought about, taking up a career in English teacher or something like that?
No, because you are my career.
Yes.
I am much.
buddy.
These
A+
things.
for that answer.
This class is actually covering a lot of things. For instance, we cover
Yeah.
expression that has to do with grammar, which are basic. You could spend your whole life studying grammar, but I don't want to focus on one thing. I expect you to do the supplemental learning. Like, for instance, a lot of guys, they write a sentence and it's like 20,000 like this guy, Neutron, has 20 different thoughts, jam-packed into one sentence. And it's so difficult for people to follow him. It's a turnoff. Versus a good writer, you are brought in an orderly way into his thought process. You notice when you're reading something good that you like, it's very orderly. You can catch on very quickly, and you're painted a very clear picture of what's going on, and you can appreciate it that much more. So to do that, it's almost like learning how to mix colors, whereas I'm teaching you how to paint the house. It's including mixing colors, and painting the house is kind of understood. We're going to cover mixing colors because that's part of the process of getting the paint ready to paint the house. But I'm not focusing on that. It's almost like I got to go back and kind of focus on these things for some people, but I don't want to stay focused because some people, they have adequate enough grammar to convey a thought. So now I'm concerned with them conveying that thought versus, making a coherent sentence. But for others, I got to go back to square one. So it appears sometimes I'm focusing on the semantics, etc. But really, my goal is for you to make your expression clear enough to me. So if you're not that creative or you don't want to get that, ornate with your language, I don't care. I just care that you can convey that sentiment. So even if you're a writer who just writes, "Hey, you hurt me," when you're speaking, if you're a guy who writes, "Hey, you hurt me," I better hear you have like a super black expression, like, "Yo, you hurt me, man." I better hear some voice inflection. I better hear some degree of hurt. I better hear a person behind that generic description. I better hear some voice inflection. I better hear something that conveys your person if you're going to use simple language when you write. I'm not against simplicity. I'm against people not conveying their person in their writing. So yes, this covers English, this covers grammar, different disciplines. We talk about psychology here. Guys that are on medication. We cover a whole gamut of things that are involved in expression. So that's why one of the issues was, what's that?
We covered life.
We cover life here. Life is a broad topic if you haven't noticed. So even the name Manhood Academy usually bothers me because we're not just covering really manhood. The reason why it's called Manhood Academy is because you guys are men here and the responsibility is on you. So I guess in that sense it fits. But we cover so many other things that Manhood Academy is almost like it's just not an adequate description.
It doesn't do the academy justice for what we're really learning here.
Yes, it doesn't.
It should be called like Leadership Academy of the Next Nation.
That sounds cliche.
Leadership Academy. Okay, guys, it's been a great class. Thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate it.
I have an announcement.
Uh-oh. You're pregnant? What?
Hey,
You getting
Day
married?
3, baby. Day 3.
Wait, what's the announcement? Sorry.
Day 3. I'm on day 3.
Day 3 of what? Mr. Non-Expression? No Fap Challenge. Oh, I don't know if it's day 3 of kicking the nicotine habit or what, but he's on day 3 of no fapping. Look, his hands are moving faster already.
Hey, Professor, I have a question.
Yes.
Real quick. What is TIOM? Like, the words you use to describe soul and, like, heart?
Oh, TION. I'm using that. I'm sorry, I didn't explain. That's the suffix, the ending of general concepts like information, masturbation, occupation, elation, TION words. So those are generally covering huge concepts. So people, when they get lazy, they'll start using TION words, which means they have the suffix TION, and they're trying to convey so much. It's just a lazy way of saying a general concept, which works, again, like if you're speaking, I'm talking about something, I can indicate with my hands or my voice inflection something about what I'm talking about if I use a TION word. But in writing, it's so general. It's like I went on vacation. What does that mean? It means nothing because it's such a generic term. It can mean so many different things. Vacation for you could be a ride through the hood, firing your AK-47, or it could mean sailing to the Bahamas. How do I know? Unless I see Paperclip's finger on the trigger imitating his AK-47, I don't know what he means by vacation. Oh, Mike, just in time. Mike, you're just in time for the end of class. You're just in time for the end of class, buddy. Welcome. Are you? Okay, guys, I'm gonna cut it short. See you later.
Plum.
Yo, what?
One last quick question.
What?
Get it.
Meaning of life.
What's the meaning of life? It's the exit sign. Teep.